If you have multiple passions but struggle to fit them into your day or feel like you can't do them simultaneously, this video is for you. I recently had a conversation with a good friend of mine who's an artist, who's a musician like I am, and we both started martial arts in the past year. He started mixed martial arts and I started jiu-jitsu. And in our recent conversation, he told me that he feels like he's drifting off from the music too much and that martial arts is taking the main focus right now in his life, or that it's just that there's an unequal balance, and that he has the desire to get back to the music properly again. And we then talked about the importance of energy, and he said that if you don't focus your energy on one thing, it can't work. And it then made me question, because it made me question myself, because I recently started this YouTube channel and I'm in such a great flow right now in every area of my life. But then when he said that, an old fear came up again. The fear of not knowing if I can sustain this. The fear of drifting off from my main passion, which is music. And I just then asked myself, okay, am I back in the same pattern? Am I back in the same feeling that I used to be in before? But I then went deeper into it. And in our conversations, I also came to a different realization and to a different point of view. And I figured out that it's not necessarily about doing one thing, but to do what's aligned with you, to do what's aligned with your true self. That's way more important than anything, because you can do whatever you want to do as long as you put you into it. And what's important is that you just make the time for what's most important to you. So it's not really about what you do, it's more about what you feel most called to in the moment, and what feels most alive in the moment. And what's also vitally important, which we left the conversation off with, that it's not impossible to do multiple things, but that you prioritize what's most important to you, that you honor your artistic needs, or I would rather say to honor your soul's needs. Because when I don't make music for a long time, I feel like something's missing. Like I feel, I feel like something is missing inside of me. And every time I get back to it, I really feel how my soul is feeling alive and how it's opening up. But the same here, like I truly enjoy making these videos. I truly enjoy writing down thoughts and then speaking about them. And when it's aligned, if it's aligned, whatever you do, you will notice that it fuels every other area of your life. But on the other hand, if you're doing stuff just out of fear, or because you think you need to impress someone, or because you feel like you need to prove something to someone, that you actually, and you do something that you actually don't really care about, then it's really draining your energy, and it's affecting all other areas of your life. And if that then takes the overhand, you feel like something is off. And also, if something you also like to do, but if, like, let's say for example this channel, I love doing it, but it doesn't require me a lot of time. Like I sit down, I write down some thoughts, and then I speak about it, and that takes me about half an hour. And if I would prioritize this though, and don't put any time and effort into the music, or let's say I don't even take half an hour to put into the music or anything that's music related, then I probably would have the same feeling. But it's not that case. For me, that's a fun project. For me, that's a passionate project. And I've figured out that it's in alignment with who I am. And I've written many visions before, a mission statement or vision, however you want to call it. I just call it my vision, where I want to be in my life, and how I want to live my life, how I intend to live my life as long as I'm here. And I always wrote that down, that I inspire people through my music, through my message, through speaking, through writing, through my being. And I also had the intention to speak and to create videos like these, and to eventually even start a podcast, and to help people connect to their spirit and to take charge of their mental and emotional state. And that's, you know what I mean? And that's the purpose. And the medium can change. The medium can, the way you express your purpose can come in different ways. But you just have to find out what's aligned and what's not. And when you find out what's aligned and what's not, you then can cut out the things that are not aligned. So the real problem is not doing multiple things. The real issue is finding out what's aligned and what's not aligned. If you're doing it out of love, or if you're doing it out of fear. Because you can either do things out of love or fear. There's nothing in between. And when you find the underlying emotion there, if you find the underlying feeling, that's when you find out if it's right for you. And I'm not saying that you should do everything at once. There might be phases in your life where you really have to hone in on one thing and where the other thing has to step back, or where you have to put the other thing to the side for now, which is also normal. But usually, you just got to check in with your schedule, check in with your time, and make the time and the space for the things you love to do. Because if you don't make the time and the space for the things you love to do, you will stay where you are and you will not get to where you want to be. You will not live the life as the person you want to live. You won't be a architect if you never take time to study architecture or to design models of buildings or whatever you are focused in as an architect. Whatever area you focus in as an architect, you got to give it the time, and you got to honor the time and honor the commitments that you give to yourself. So the real solution is to, first of all, honor your commitments, honor your artistic needs, honor your soul's needs. Because it's not, maybe you're watching this and you're not an artist, but you have other passions and other interests. In my opinion, life in itself is art, and how we express it is art itself. But what's most important is that you check in with your soul, ask yourself, how do I want to live my life? What's really important to me? And that you make the time and the space for it. You don't have the time, you make the time. And even if it's just a little time, do that. If you only have 2 minutes to do something, do it. Because if you keep on doing it, you will create more space for it. And your life will start to shape around it, But do it with love and do what you truly care about. When you do that, it doesn't matter what you do. And the second thing is to prioritize, to find out what's most important to you right now, what really matters most to you. Is it painting? Is it dancing? Is it martial arts? Like there are multiple things, but what's most important to you? And make sure that the most important thing also gets at least the same amount of time that you invest into other things. And ideally the most amount of time, but still, like, what matters is that you put in a little time at least. Ideally every day, ideally every week, ideally every day, at least every week, because then you stay in the rhythm, And once you prioritize and once you give yourself the time, then you're good. And you will see that each area fuels the other. And you will feel inspired to do other things. Because this, for me, is like writing songs. It's about sharing ideas. And another thing that might block you is being judged of what other people might think of you. For example, this is not typical. I don't see a lot of musicians starting a channel where they speak, or where they talk about life, where they talk about states of consciousness, And for a long time, I actually hesitated of doing this because I felt like, okay, maybe people think I'm not cool enough. Maybe people think I'm too accessible. Maybe people feel like I'm not an artist, I figured out all of this is nonsense anyways. And even if people think that way, it doesn't matter. Because what matters is that I come here to fulfill my soul's mission. And this is something that I feel strongly called to. That's why I'm doing it. So let go of the judgment of other people, or your thought of being judged. And just allow yourself to be. And be willing to do things differently. Be willing to do things that haven't been done before. Allow yourself to go to places that haven't been gone to before. Allow yourself to make the impossible possible. Allow yourself to create your own world. Create your own reality, because that's what you're here for. You are a creator, and you are here to create your own life. And to inspire other people by what you create. With what you create. With the way you live. And your way of living is the inspiration that can spark change in the world. That can spark change in other people. And that's how it's been all along. That's how it's been in back in time in history. Like all the great people that we admire, all the great people that we look up to in history. I mean, it differs. You might look up to different people that I look up to, or you're inspired by different people that I'm inspired by. But the people that are usually seen as the greats, or the great philosophers, the great teachers, the great artists, they're all there to be themselves. They're all there to do something that's not that doesn't go with the norm, because the norm isn't normal, And when you realize that, you just stop trying you just stop trying to fit in. You let go of fitting in, and you allow yourself to be you. And that's what it's really about, you know? So, like I said, honor your artistic needs, honor your soul's needs, and prioritize. Make time for it. And when you do that, you will see that you will feel inspired. And this inspiration you can then bring to everything that you need. And inspiration is everywhere, and it comes from within. So check in with yourself. If there's something that's not aligned, cut it out. If there's something that you want to do, if you feel like speaking, speak. If you feel like drawing, draw. If you feel like making music, start making music. Just allow yourself to experiment. And also, give yourself time. Set yourself out in a process. Because a lot of times, especially if you want to start something new, you have to stick to it to see where it takes you, you know? If you just start on one day and then quit on the next day, it won't get you anywhere. So give yourself the time. Set yourself out in a 10-week process, ideally, where you just commit yourself to certain actions, to commit yourself to your art, to commit yourself to a YouTube channel, to commit yourself to whatever you want to create, you know? Because then you also start making progress, and then you find out different ways of how you want to do it, and you just give yourself to play and create, and that's what it's about. And if you need something that helps you to find out what's aligned and what's not aligned, what's draining you and what's not in alignment with you anymore, to gain more clarity of your path and where you want to go, I've created something called the Elevation Guide, which is about increasing your energy, gaining more clarity, and also letting go of draining habits that are no longer in alignment with who you are. So you can get that in my bio for free. I trust it will help you. Like I said, these are free steps that help me enormously, and I put them into a little ebook. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, let me know how you felt about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share with a friend if you feel like it can help them too. And I thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I'm Law Haru, and this is The Way of Law. One love.